Welcome to today's Big Brother 16 updates and spoilers. We have two house guests of the day, Big Zeke Smith and Taylor Huey. Happy 17th birthday, Taylor. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day, send me a private message on YouTube. Alright, so Derek and Frankie were discussing their fellow Team America teammate, Donnie. And they were like, we're here for Team America, but we're here for ourselves too. Oh? You are? It's funny that you should say that, because how many times have they been like, Donnie's just here for himself? Bleh! I just find it kind of funny, but really sad that that's happening. So, Derek is like, yeah, we need to look out for Donnie because he's going around planting seeds with Cody and Caleb about the pecking order around here. And Derek is realizing, like, hell yeah, Donnie knows what he's talking about, and he doesn't want his minions to realize what's going on for real. So Derek is like, it's unfortunate, but you can't blame him for doing that. Yeah, you can't blame him, because what else is he supposed to do? So they agree. Donnie would definitely try to send them home, given the chance. And if he does that, Derek is like, again, it's unfortunate, but the Team America unity would be broken. What Team America unity? They've been going after Donnie this whole time. So, Derek and Frankie also agree Victoria cannot go all the way to the final three because it's going to be too tempting and someone is going to want to take her to the final two instead of somebody from the detonators. So, again, funny because I'm pretty sure that that's exactly what Derek and possibly Frankie are planning on doing. They want to take Victoria all the way to the end and then pick her to go to the final two because she's easy to beat. Duh. Alright, time for a fun fact. Frankie says if he forgets his ID when he's going to the club, he tells the bouncer to Google him. And if the bouncer refuses, he'll just point at a random person and say, "You, do you know who I am?" I'm not even going to comment on the obnoxiousness of that. I'm going to ask instead, who is asking to see your ID? Do they actually think you're 21? You are 31 years old, and it's not like you have a young face either. Blows my mind. Anyway, Donnie was giving Zach some advice. He was like, you should try to sway Frankie, because Zach is running out of options here. Donnie's like, obviously, Frankie doesn't have a vote this week, but he still does have a lot of power. If you could convince Frankie that you should stay this week, he could probably get you the votes. So, I mean, after all, he is a social media mogul. So, he's got power. He's got the power. So, Donnie's telling Zach, tell Frankie that because of his sister, he is now a huge target, and no one is going to want to go to the end with him. Especially with the charity thing too, because they're just going to give him the money. So they don't want to take him to the end. So he's also like, Zach, only have this conversation with Frankie once, because if you do it more than once, it's going to be a little too campaigny, and nobody likes that. So Zach is like, yes, Donnie, thank you for the excellent advice. So it looks like there was more fan interference last night. I don't know if it's the same person that keeps yelling over the wall or what, but apparently somebody said something. There was an indoor lockdown again, and we were punished with fish. I mean, lots and lots of fish. The feeds were cut, everything, you know, the whole 9 yards. And I guess the reason that Big Brother is doing this, it's kind of like when somebody runs on the field at a baseball game or like some sporting event. They don't want to give attention to the person who's doing this, because if we see the house guests talking about what was said, that's going to get attention for whoever said the thing. So I guess I understand why they do it, but it just sucks. So we did get a short, quick clip of Victoria saying that she heard someone say, I love blank. Love who? I thought somebody also said that the person was yelling like, I love you, Zach, or something. So, I mean, I guess Zach is getting a lot of fan love, so he's got to be pretty excited about that. Okay, completely unrelated. The egos were coming out last night. Caleb called Cody a slut for cuddling with everyone in the house, and Cody was like, what? Come on, bro. It's cool. I know you're just jealous. And Caleb goes, me? Be jealous of you? There's nothing to be jealous of. Oh, yeah. It got a little bit tense. They weren't like fighting, but it was a little tense. So let's move on. Oh yeah, one more thing I want to point out about that. I feel like if a girl was using Cody's strategy and like cuddling and touching and flirting with all the guys, she would not have a very good reputation in the house. So I feel like, you know, it's different for Cody. So anyway, Zach did end up campaigning to Frankie last night, and he was following Donnie's advice. Zach is like, this is over a pool game, by the way. Zach was like, what's the difference between sending me home or sending Cody home in your eyes? So Frankie takes a minute to think about it, and then he's like, you're too unpredictable. He said, do I think Cody wants to go to the end with me? Probably not. Zach says, Rose, no one wants to go to the end with you. Zach, get that Golden Girls reference in there. You know Frankie loves that stuff, so good job with that. But he was like, yeah, maybe you should rethink who you're sending home this week, because Cody is going to go with Christine and Derek over you. He's not going to take you anywhere. I would take you to the end. So Frankie's like, you know what? You're making some good points, but... So then Derek comes outside, conversation over for a few minutes. Derek goes inside. Frankie says, I'm sick of you throwing me under the bus. You're hurting me. Then he says, you're hurting my chances of feeding children in Africa. Really? Is that how you're gonna play it? That's how it's gonna be? So then Frankie was like, look, Zach, it's not a bad pitch, but I've just been so hurt by you. I don't think we can repair that trust. So there's like a few more minutes to talk, blah, 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 blah. And then the pool game ends. Zach goes inside. So Frankie is outside with Derek, Cody, and Caleb. He's telling the guys about his conversation with Zach. He's embellishing quite a bit. Quite a bit. He was like, yeah, I told Zach there's no effing way that we're going to keep him over Cody. I don't think he said it like that. But anyway, he brought up the conversation again later in the HOH bathroom. He was talking to Christine and Cody. And he's like, yeah, it'll be great once Zach is gone. We'll have calm for like at least 2 weeks. He said, once Zach is gone, it's going to become a real gentleman's game. There won't be any more backstabbing, just front stabbing. Wow, that's so exciting. Because he was saying how when one of them wins HOH, they'll just have everyone talk with the HOH in a calm, rational manner. Basically, they're going to expect people to just accept that they're going home and there won't be any more backstabbing. Number 1, that sounds boring as hell. Number 2, I don't think that's going to happen anyway. So moving on. Zach asked Derek late last night if he has any chance of staying this week, and Derek was just like, there's pretty much no way. So Zach, it seems like, was trying to help out Donnie a little bit, because he was like, Derek, I don't think that Donnie would put you up if he won HOH. He's going to go after Frankie, Caleb, and Christine first. Now, I don't know that that's necessarily true, because in all of the conversations that Donnie's had with the detonators about when he's trying to plant seeds and everything, he tries to point out that Derek is running things. Then again, I don't know if Donnie would go after Derek if he won HOH. I'm not sure. So Derek is like, oh, he said that? That's good. That's really good. So then Zach is like, Derek, you should open up to Donnie, you know, try to, you know, open up that whatever. Open up that Donnie door. So Derek is like, well, I don't think he trusts me. Like, I've tried to tell him about my kids or whatever before, and he just doesn't trust me. And then Derek says he's not going to suck his dick. His words, not mine. I don't think he wants you to do that, so, you know, you don't even have to put that out on the table. He doesn't want that. So, yeah, where am I anyway? Again, he's just like, yeah, Donnie doesn't trust me, so we'll see. And Zach is like, well, maybe it'll help if I tell Donnie it's okay, he should trust you. I'll tell him before I go. So Derek's like, cool, Thank you. Alright, more about Donnie. Christine has been going on an I Hate Donnie crusade, and it is disgusting, for real. So she was talking about Donnie with Derek, and they were joking, saying like, why won't you just die about Donnie? Okay, so here's the thing. My thing is, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I feel like they were definitely referring to his game, his life in the game, and saying like, why are you still here? Why won't you just be evicted? But come on. You can't say things like that. It's so messed up. So that was not cool. Also, she's so over him and others, like Caleb making comments about her and Cody. Sounds like you're feeling a little guilty. Maybe you should be. So then Frankie and Christine were talking, and again she's like, I am so annoyed that Donnie's still here. Yeah, so then they were talking crap about Joe Costa, and Christine was like, all Joe Costa ever did was laugh extremely loud at things that weren't funny. Really, Christine? You're gonna talk about people's laughs? Really? Yeah, that's you. So she was talking crap about Joe Costa speaking in tongues and like how it was BS and all this stuff, and she's just like all on her high horse, and it just like really was not good. So then very late last night, I think it was like just before 6 a.m. this morning actually, Christine was watching Cody and Derek play pool, and she was like, just out of the blue, she says, you know what one of the great things is about staying up late? Less time with Donnie in the morning. So Cody was ragging on Donnie too, and he was talking about how he got upset because Donnie called him out for always having his hands down his pants. He's like, I'm 23 years old. My parents used to yell at me for that when I was a little kid. Like, I'm not some little kid. Exactly. You're not a little kid. Why are you walking around with your hands down your pants? So then they totally decided to trash Donnie, and they were calling him a pervert and all this stuff. It was just, it's very aggravating. So, speak of the pervert, Donnie was trying to chat with Christine this morning. Again, it's pretty much the same thing that he was talking about with, he's had this conversation pretty much with Caleb, with Cody. He's trying to plant those seeds about Victoria and Derek. The pecking order, hello! He can see that Derek just wants to take Victoria to the end, and these other people need to friggin' wake up. So he's like, Christine, you know that Cody is going to be the most loyal to Derek, right? And she's just like, ugh. I don't know if she was even listening. So Donnie is like, you know, no one would expect us to work together. It would be pretty crazy. She's like, yeah, that would be crazy. So I'm just wondering, how long will it be until Christine repeats this conversation to everyone? Because you know it's going to happen. You know it. Same thing for Cody. I talked about it in yesterday's spoiler, how Donnie had that long conversation with Cody in one ear, out the other. He hasn't told Derek yet, but he did pull Derek aside and was like, I have to talk to you about this conversation that I had with Donnie. And he just never got the chance yesterday. So I think that will be coming up shortly. And until tomorrow, much love. Edit.